Namaste. Let me talk about Chipmunk. As always, let me answer the question, why Chipmunk? No, I'm not talking about Alvin and Chipmunks, the 2007 American live-action computer-animated musical comedy film. No. We are in 2017 and every business, big or small, needs to take care of YouTube, calendar, email, and connection relationship management. Now, as you try to manage all of these, you would feel restless. You would try to find something which handles these in an easy way. Let me paint a scenario for you. Imagine creating a YouTube live event in which you facilitate live discussions, exchange information, someone sharing the problems they face and someone else being able to offer solutions, possible ways in which the problem can be solved, etc. As a host of such an event, you would gain a lot of respect and authority. When you get known for this, you would be providing great value to lots of people, some of whom will become your clients, customers, and fans. But to host such an event, you need to handle multiple tools, and you soon find that you are spending too much time, effort, and energy trying to use those tools, and you are unable to concentrate on actually doing the work you are passionate about. On screen, you are seeing two such events held regularly, and the hosts shown here are handling these challenges remarkably well. Now, allow me to expand on the scenario a bit more. First thing that needs to happen is host the show. So, it has to be created, promoted, and recorded. Then, you need to invite guests, which means emails, calendars, reminders, messages, phone calls. Then you need to get viewers, which means you need to promote, attract, engage, and retain viewers. Now, you have a show, you have guests, you have viewers. Then you must engage. You need to recognize the viewers, reply to their messages, share information, knowledge, etc. As you can see, there is a lot there on that slide. And those are the things one needs to manage. All of that is very sophisticated, and as a step towards simplification, let me show you this mind map. And let me show you the most important aspects there at a glance. And here is another glimpse, and I shall come back to this later, I promise you. Let me explain it a bit in detail. When you host such shows regularly, you would have a regular panel of members who find value, they bring value, and are lovely to work with. Let me use an acronym to represent these group of people. RPM, regular panel members. Then you would have new viewers members who just happen to visit your show but registered some initial interest. Let me call them NVM, new viewer members. Some of them may want to join you as a guest panel member, GPM for short. Some of your viewers may become regular viewer members, or for short, RVM. Let me draw your attention to the button that is pointed to by the red arrow there. I am bringing the same slide again I showed you a glimpse of earlier. I am showing you a Google spreadsheet which is part of a sophisticated tool. Let me say something which you might have already understood. I am actually explaining to you a solution to the problems I explained so far. Let us maintain a spreadsheet to maintain HOA show records. First task you do is add show details. Let us imagine there is a button on the spreadsheet which, when pressed, calls show details added function. This handles two calendars, a group calendar which would be used by panel members in your show, and all regular panel members, RPMs, are add invitees into the event created for the HOA show. This function also creates a public calendar event in a HOA web calendar which can be shared on the website if you want to promote your HOA events on your website. Simply to be complete, this is the private event calendar which gets added. If you notice, the two buttons pointed by the blue arrow turn on auto process and turn off auto process. Let me explain the auto process, which is a time-based trigger event. It runs on Google servers. It sends reminder emails every midnight to the show host, which is you, when there are viewers who requested a panel seat and are yet to be vetted. And every 5 minutes it checks if any new HOA events are added to the spreadsheet. If there is any addition, update a Google form which is published on your website. This can also create calendar events as required. The code behind these triggers is written in such a way that if nothing needs to be done, nothing is actually done. Let me draw your attention to the button that is pointed to by the orange arrow there. Guest request button is used to check if visitors filled in the form on your website and maybe also requested a seat on the show panel as panel guest. This would display the name, email address, and whether they requested to be on the panel. The host would be provided a facility to gather special social media and other details about the viewers who filled the form on the website. In case they requested a seat on the panel, the host can make a decision as to whether they are suitable green room guest in the show or not. If you decide that the viewer is good as a guest on your panel, then you can click the yes button. If you do that, the viewer details would be added as a approved guest into the spreadsheet. They would be added to the group event calendar as an invitee. The details are then moved from new member to guest panel member list. On the other hand, if you have gathered some information about them and would like to save it and you have not yet decided whether they would indeed be good guests on your panel or not, you can save their social media details into the spreadsheet by clicking on the undecided button. An email would be sent to you every midnight, as explained earlier by the time-driven trigger running on Google servers until you make a decision. So that way you won't lose track. In case you decided that the viewers who requested a panel seat is not suitable, then you can click on the No button and the visitor details are moved to a sheet called as Bad Panel Member Sheet. They would also be sent a regret email, which you can word it accordingly. Now, for the third step, let me draw your attention to the button that is pointed to by the green arrow there. When the host is ready to start the actual event and ready to go on air soon, the host can get the green room link from the HOA interface, click the button I just showed you. This would send emails to each guest as well as regular panel members with the link to join the panel as a green room participant. It would also send the YouTube viewer link to each of the registered viewer members. All of that is a lot of work, isn't it? But as a host, you would essentially be pushing just 3 buttons at 3 different times to achieve all of that. Isn't that simple? Now, let me talk about the other most important aspect. This is to do with your website. Let me talk about 4 components. A public HOA web calendar which you can publish on your website. HOA visitor and panel guest registration form. This form gets generated by the system I explained. It needs to be embedded onto your website in a prominent way. Visitors to your website can fill it in and register themselves. The next 2 components are audience engagement and embedded YouTube video, so that when you show a live event happening, the viewers can view it on your website and engage with the panel. When a visitor fills in the form on the website, they fill in their name, email address and select the event they are interested in. They would also be able to select whether they simply want to view the event or be a member on the panel. In other words, they can select whether they want to be in the green room or not. When they fill the form and hit the submit button, code behind the form gets activated and the visitor details get added to new viewer member sheet on the spreadsheet I showed you earlier. You, the host of the show, would be sent an email with the form data. The specific HOA web calendar event is grabbed and the code takes appropriate action. If the viewer requested a seat on the panel as a guest, a thank you email will be sent indicating further information would follow. If they just wanted to be a viewer, the thank you email would indicate that calendar event would be sent for them to incorporate into their own calendars to remind themselves. Just a brief note on audience engagement. On the website, it is preferable to have a facility which allows visitors to put their comment and the host, you, to be notified, and the host then need to respond to audience comments, welcoming them and answering any questions, etc. There should also be live YouTube event playing on your website side by side the video. So that is the overall website engagement mind map. Hope I have not confused you. You can get back to me by filling in a similar form on my website wake-technology.com and contacting me. You can reach me through my Google Plus, even Facebook or LinkedIn. Thank you for watching. Namaste.